The word inertia has just come up on my radar during some conversations recently. And so I went down the rabbit hole of thinking about this word a little bit more deeply. And first things first, I looked it up in the dictionary to make sure I really got a handle on what it means. And so it's the resistance or to a change in velocity. And so resistance, I think, is something we come up against almost all the time in lots of different ways with lots of different intensity. And as a productive leader, I think it's important to pay attention to where there might be some inertia for your own productivity, whether that's your personal productivity, your habits, your procrastinators, or whether it's the way in which you're doing your work. What's the sticking point there? But also when it comes to your people productivity, where's the resistance showing up when it comes to their performance? And this resistance pyramid model I really like, and it's come from Nieder Zimmerman, and German names there, so apologies if I've not pronounced it correctly. But their work, or this beautiful simple model, was drawn out of some work from Galpin in the mid-80s. And essentially what they're talking about here is that there's 3 layers to your resistance, whether or your team's resistance and employees' resistance. And that is either not knowing, or they're not able, or they're not willing. And I think it's important that when you're looking at the performance of your team, where do you think that any resistance might sit for them? And with that in mind, it then helps you determine whether it's about communicating and sharing more messages. And a lot of the time, I think when people are not knowing what's going on, or they're not understanding what's going on around them, and so therefore they become inert or resistant, then we need to be communicating more. And often that's the why. We don't communicate enough of the why of a change, the why of an initiative, the why of a project, the why of the value of the work they do, so that they can re-engage with it. If it's not able, then that's a training, a skill development area, and that's often more tangible and easier to fix because it's you can see it and do something about it quite instantly. You know, if someone's not able to do X, then we go get them X training. But it could be some other elements around that as well, where not able might be their communication skills or the delegation skills, or even if you have a management team who don't do feedback very well, then it's about building their feedback skills. And then the other one is that not willing, and this is around a mindset, and this is an attitude thing. So it's about encouraging, and that might require you to do a little bit more listening, or you to dive deeper into what their attitudinal resistance might be. And I think that this model is a great framework, a useful framework for working out where you might start when it comes to any feedback conversations and performance conversations you have with people. Look, I think it sits neatly with Successful Feedback, the book that I have recently written, and the model in there to help you deliver the feedback conversation. This, I think, is a really great way to get a fundamental understanding of where someone might be. You know, I think the word inertia was a great trigger point to start thinking about this. And where are you a little inert in your work and in your productivity? I'd love to know your thoughts. Where do you sit on this resistance pyramid maybe? Or where can you see some of your direct reports sitting on the pyramid? If you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, I'd love to hear them. Let me know. Bye for now.